Yep.
Right. Slightly later than intended, 8:10, but after a few technical issues, I'll open the planning meeting. I will start with accepting and receiving apologies for absence. If I haven't got the sheet. Are there any apologies for absence?
Well, Councillor Glenn's not here, but I've not had any apologies. And just, what's his name? Paul Bland sent his apologies at the last minute.
Right.
Because he was invited, wasn't he? But I sent them to Emma, I think, yes.
Councillor Glenn sent apologies for full council, the neighbourhood plan one, so he was possibly thinking he'd sent apology for both
yeah.
in the one go. So
Well, we'll assume we accepted them for full council.
Anybody seen the clerk's keys?
CKs.
Got them.
Problem solved.
Good. Right. The next one is representations from interested parties. I'm not aware of any, and having pressed for the closure of the previous meeting in case the public was thronging outside, there is no public thronging or otherwise. So we'll move rapidly on to declarations of interest, which is to receive any declarations of interest from members and officers under section 50 of the Local Government Act of 2000, our standing orders 35 and 36, which applies of course only to matters that are on the agenda tonight. And the first is whether there are any disclosable pecuniary interests.
Not pecuniary.
None.
We all have to address the issue of 1805/0106, which is the recreation area, because we've made the application.
Right.
Good point.
Well, presumably we will simply not comment on that, but we'll all declare.
I'm just trying to say that everybody has to declare an interest in that one. And the other one I need to say about is 13 New Road.
That's Neville Under.
That's somebody who we know very well. That's Sue Beaton's house.
Isn't there me?
13 New Road.
13 New Road.
So
13 New Road.
Sue Beaton.
the councillors N and S Oaks for item, sorry, what number was it again?
13. It's on the agenda.
Just ask a technical, is it my postcode? Do I have an interest?
A postcode interest.
Well, it's the same postcode.
I think the answer to that is no.
I don't think the postcode would be the sole defining.
A postcode can be about a mile long.
It could be a little bit away, and you might not be able to see the other property from your property and so forth. So I think you have to exercise your own judgment.
There's a bit of a thing with your postcode comes up.
Can I say, Councillor, when we get to it, you'll see where it is, and you'll be able to tell whether you're close to it or.
If you decide, having seen it, it's very interesting. That's the simple answer to that.
As we go along.
Right, minutes. So there are no other interests to declare?
No.
Minutes of the last meeting held on the 3rd of April, present myself, Councillor Sparks, Councillor Sirks, Councillor Neville Oaks and Councillor Chesser. Of those who were there, Councillor N Oaks proposes, seconded Councillor S Oaks, all who were present.
Yeah.
Which I think is everybody who could has. There everybody wants to sign.
It's very interesting this time, isn't it?
Absolutely.
All a bit different to normal, isn't it?
What?
The colours this time is a bit different. Not many trees.
Now, you may have observed that why is it that on a night where there might be some time pressures, you get no tree applications to speak of?
I honestly will crack on as fast as I can go. Just
actually,
everybody else shut up.
He's under instruction.
Actually, what we are going to do, because there may be one or two people who may be waiting for an item that in fact is currently agendaed right at the end.
Yeah.
And since there are, well actually there is one matter that is to be taken privately, I will say those time-honoured words, but please note, in view of the special and/or confidential nature of the business about to be transacted, it is advisable in the public interest that the public be temporarily excluded, and they are instructed to withdraw. That's our standing order 3C. I would propose that. Do I have a second by Councillor Sparks? All those in favour?
Sorry, forgive me, what's the item?
It's
He's got a job for life.
it's the
1808.
1808.
Done. Right at the back. Right at the
Right,
It's the very last item, Bob, other than any other relevant matters for the
just a
report.
sec, forgive me.
Commercially
there's nothing-
sensitive healthcare related issue.
Yes.
Tells us a lot, doesn't it?
Yep. That's the
Oh,
whole
right,
point of it,
okay.
yeah.
That's part of the issue.
Yeah, that's all right.
So is that everybody in favour of doing this?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Right,
Fine.
okay,
Right.
I will do that open session. And we'll start
Do we
looking
just
at...
need to minute or something that the matter was discussed, or?
Yes, we discussed the item with regard to... I think that's as far as it needs to go.
Are you off? I'm off. Oh, was that worth listening to? It was. Definitely.
So, moving on to planning matters, hopefully start on 20 Gottesdorp Road with an application for a proposed extension of carriage at the front and an infill extension to the kitchen dining area to the rear.
Okay, area outlined in red. That is where it is. And you can see it's very near the school, which is at the northwest, to the northwest. That's where the primary school is. And ample parking space, because it is important, as the house is very near the school. In fact, it's only one house away from it. Okay, floor plans, that's existing, that's the new, that's what they plan to do. Given the size of the site, etc., I don't really know what to say about it, really. I mean, it's... Anybody have any issues with this?
We are presumably unaware of any objections raised.
From neighbours.
There are no objections that I'm aware of, with my usual caveat.
The Porsche keeps coming. No, no, it's not the Porsche.
Yes.
Sorry?
The Porsche always arrives in all these houses.
Obviously, everybody in Oundle's got a Porsche.
Well, it's funny actually, you always put Porsches in these things. It makes me laugh, really. Right, off we go.
There appears to
Whatever.
be no reason
I
I think of to raise any kind of an objection, so can I record that as an objection?
No objection.
No objection.
Right, same here.
That's
Apart from the Porsche.
fine.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Right, listed building consent about the stables.
Right, okay. Now, I'm not going to put up a picture of the stables and Cobthorne and everything. But basically, it's one of our very important Grade 1 listed buildings. The Cobthorne is Grade 4, it's Grade 1. The stables are Grade 2, so they're very important. But I don't propose to stick pictures up and stuff. Can you read that? Are you okay with that? They want to repaint it. Basically, the reason that they need to put in an LBC is because paint colours would be different. Now, you know, this is all a matter of, I don't know. I mean, I've had a look at the colours, but I'm no artistic individual. But basically, knowing Oundle School, they're not going to muck this up.
No. Unless you want to check on the our favourite man or person who does all the.
Right.
It seems to me that this is one of those cases where we would simply say no objection, subject to
Absolutely.
views of conservation.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I would say yes.
I think the point here is it
Listed
says it's no historic fabric will be altered or replaced. And the impact of the repainting is purely visual.
So if they were repainting it sort of red and white candy stripes, I've no doubt that we...
Well, we might jump up and down about that.
He's the expert. Let him decide.
But basically, they're very muted colours. Cloth and pointing are very muted.
I'm sure we'll do.
you know,
Fine.
and they suit. Now I've also now, look, I've leapt on to the Bury Stead. I'm terribly sorry about this.
Okay.
This
well,
is
I
further
see
down, but
really
it
what-
seemed logical, because basically they're doing the same thing.
What, painting?
Painting it the
Yeah.
same.
And again, it's one of our Grade 1 buildings, that's the Bury Stead, and they're doing effectively the same thing to that. So I thought I'd leave that one in underneath the other one, right? So we onwards to that.
We are aware of anything about this colour scheme that we think is likely to be objectionable, it must be exactly the same comment as the previous one. No objection subject to the view of the conservation.
I would say that's absolutely the right thing to say.
Right. That's good. 3 down.
Right, okay. See, I'm
presumably
cracking on.
back to 103 Benefield Road.
Now, 103 Benefield Road. Now, I've done a bit of research on this. That's where it is. Others people have done it, so I'm now arrowed this. Now, basically, Benefield Road, it inherently did not have any facilities for vehicles to park in the front. And therefore, they have to park, as you can see, the cars along there in the lay-by. Now, what's happening is they want to do that. They basically want to drop the curb and put in gravel off-road parking. Now, and I just put that in as an observation of mine. But anything on the road is out of our jurisdiction anyway, so if they want to drop the curbs, etc., highways will have something to say about that.
Sounds like
Technically highways will, but it strikes me that anything that actually takes traffic and cars off the road and onto the private land sounds like a pretty good idea to me, subject to the view of the highway authority.
Can I just say, I agree with you entirely.
Would that therefore seem to be our position, that subject to the view of the highways authority?
Beg your pardon.
Were we trying to be discreet, or I was, but no.
Right.
Feeding the
I think
council.
in terms of succeeding in being discreet, failed miserably.
It was meant with the best of intentions.
Yes.
To be honest, I think we just have to say we've got no objection, subject to the observations of the highway.
Can I just make an alternative view on this then?
By all means.
I have seen in many streets where they've been absolutely destroyed by people putting cars on there with their wheelie bins on the front of the house, and the whole road has just gone down in appearance because of what they've done. Yeah, and I don't know what the rest of this road is. You mentioned 2 or 3 have already done it. But
Well,
it's
they
very
have.
busy.
Benefit
Many of the
Road.
places I've seen that the whole estate has been destroyed by people doing just this.
But it is a very busy road.
I know.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I think this is.
my suspicion is that
But it will be the end of that
caravans.
road, won't it? Because you're going to get all of them. You're just going to rip the gardens up and.
Well, there was another issue actually, ironically, with the fact that when they put, for example, brickwork on the front, you then get flooding issues
Yes.
because the water's got nowhere to go. So,
Could you put the picture up again of Benefield Road if you've got that?
yeah.
It's not too bad.
There's the
Is that-
ones.
I mean, is it to be one of those?
Which
things,
one?
first come, first served?
Which one
Sorry,
is it?
which one do you want? Sorry.
No, which one?
Apologies.
Which is the house?
Which is
That's
the
the
house?
house.
Right. Okay. It's fine. Right. Well, there's already what's that? 1, 2, 3.
There are already 3 who've done it.
It's going to be hard to say no to
They've
it.
done it, haven't they?
Yeah.
No, I don't think you can say. I mean,
No,
be unfair.
this is what I look like. This is my own research. This is not in the planning application. Those people have already done it, and I suspect others will want to do so.
over time,
But I mean, look. The point is, it's a terrace, and you know, there's no facility to put a garage in there or anything like that. So
I think it's all right.
I mean, I take on board Councillor Wilson's point, but
yeah, so do I.
given that there are already properties where it's been done, it becomes slightly difficult to find a true planning basis for saying no, because you're more into the sort of, oh dear, it's going to upset the aesthetics. I'm absolutely sure we could.
They're possibly not the prettiest houses as I remember them.
No, it's tidy up there.
Yes.
And the
So
gentleman
it
who's made the
becomes subjective rather
application,
than objective.
It is, unfortunately.
So,
it is.
and we aren't arbiters of subjectivity.
I was
So are we agreed
Yeah.
that it's an
No,
objection
yeah, I was
subject
gonna
to
say,
a
it's
contrary
just-
view
So
of the
a bit more
highways
information.
Exactly.
did you read the letter from the gentleman in
Yes.
question? Yeah,
Authority?
because he was saying about damage to cars as well, because if the lay-by is full, they have to park on the road, and they've had various wing mirrors knocked off and things
Yep.
like that, so it's safety element
No,
of the cars
that's-
repaired.
Forgive
it's
me,
fine.
forgive me
So-
not for not putting this up, because I'm trying to crack on with this.
I mean, I understand the gentleman's reasons for wanting to do it, as I said earlier, you know, to some extent, we're probably relatively pleased to get cars off that road. I know that they're conventionally thought of as acting as a chicane to slow the traffic, but
That's why I got the potholes slowing the traffic down.
somewhat unconvinced by that argument in Benfield Road.
But anyway, look, that's what the proposition is.
Yeah, happy.
I think highways are, you know, they certainly have an opinion about this, because it's on the road. Anything that's on the Queen's Highway is way of our jurisdiction, so.
So no objection, subject to the views of the Highways Authority, and we'll move on to 38
Next.
Blackpool Road.
Right,
Demolition of
38
detached
Blackpool
garage,
Road.
demolition of utility room, toilet and chimney, erection of single-storey rear and side extensions, erection of additional side extension at first floor level, conversion of attic, replacement of conservatory, glazed canopy.
Something like that.
You almost wonder if there's anything left by the time they're finished.
Well, look, that's where it is. The people next door, we did the planning application for the house next door, actually. And it's interesting that a lot of people are taking conservatories down now. So I don't know whether it's a style thing, whatever, but conservatories are not popular anymore. Plenty of parking space, so we haven't got to worry about that. There's the house. And this is basically plans. No, yeah, hang on, I'll go back. That's existing, right, and you can see the garage to the right. Okay, so they plan to take that down. The reason I put in the note about the parking space is because obviously if you take out garages, etc., the cars have got to go somewhere, but there's plenty of room at the front here. This is what the proposed floor plan is, and we've got another portion there.
2 portions.
Got 2 portions in this one.
I'm not looking because I know them, so I can't say things.
Oh,
Right.
Have we got to declare an interest?
We'll record councillor Fuller's
I also know.
relay.
Look,
I
can
know them to a level where you think it's appropriate to.
No, I know.
compare whether it-
Can I just say, look, this is a substantial property. It's got plenty of room. I will put my hand up now and say I've got no objection personally, having looked at it in some detail.
The only thing that would occur, and you may be able to advise us, given the extent, given the fact that it's also up at first floor level, are there likely to be any overlooking issues that might cause consternation for a neighbour? You've not mentioned any objections.
No,
I assume you're not aware of any unusual way.
Can I just say, I'm not. But again, I have to put my usual caveat in there.
So,
I did have a look to see if anybody had moaned.
and can you foresee any overlooking issues? Because I'm not sure.
Not really.
Do.
Not really. I don't know. I mean, I'll just go back again. I mean, if you look at the original, where are we? Just a sec. If you look at the original structure, and then you look at the revised one, there's not an awful lot you can say about it, really. I think maybe the most helpful thing is to actually look at that. If you look at the left-hand side, you can see it's a substantial property with a very large back garden.
It is not.
The only person who could possibly moan, I think, is the person who lives to the right of them. And I've got no idea whether they will. What if they want to complain? We don't have to endorse their comments. It's up to them to make their comment, and that will form part of the decision.
The property, given its type and location, stands the work it suits me, and I'm finding it difficult to find any reason why we should object, subject to anybody's contrary view.
I can't find a reason to object. There's a little bit more information about this that I picked up, but I'm trying to keep this simple. I don't like to.
Bearing in mind that nobody's expressing any concern about any aspect of it, it seems to me we will record no objection and move on.
Right.
And which takes us to West.
Right, okay. This is the air ambulance. Right, the air ambulance, opposite Wall Memorial. And that's what they want to do. No, I can't make head or tail of this.
That's honest.
I cannot make head or tail of what all this is about, because some of it appears to be external, some appears to be internal. And I tried to get in touch with the people who actually did this, but I've been unsuccessful. But it's not going to be illuminated. It's basically going to be, let's see if I've got the manufacturer's now. It's going to be sort of vinyl stuff that's going to be applied. And I think it'd be very, very hard for us to actually criticise a charity shop. They're just trying to make their place a little bit brighter.
It's not over the top, because I presume just tiny bits.
Well, a lot of that bits in there, which I'm afraid you can't really see very well, are internal.
May I just make an observation, and that is, one of the more controversial things over the last couple of years turned out to be the signage at the wharf development.
Oh yeah.
Where some of us will recall that we had a similar, we don't really sure we quite understand this. And what we really started to seek was more information. And because we haven't actually said, absent that information, we would actually object. Before we knew it, it had gone through, and we were being criticised for not having objected because the thing was rather more obtrusive, shall we say, than perhaps we had anticipated. Now that building is in about as sensitive a site in the town as you could get. It is opposite practically the War Memorial, it's right in the centre of the town, and if we have the slightest worry that we don't understand that application well enough, we may feel better off recording an objection on the basis that it is not sufficiently clear about the impact on the building.
We want to see a mock-up, don't we? Yeah.
I was going to suggest exactly that.
Especially as we had the trouble with North Shore.
We had that with Tesco's, if you remember.
Yes,
Wanting to do all sorts
we
of
did.
things in the window.
Yeah.
The unit just window details.
And we did have that issue with the shoe shop, didn't we? Signage on the shoe shop.
What, North Shoes?
Yeah, they had to alter theirs. And it's, as the chair's said, this is certainly, it looks...
I mean, it is in a very, very important position, there's no question about that. But can I just say, I've done my very best to try to understand what the impact would be. But I can only produce what's been in front. I always try my best to do photographs, and I do all sorts of other little bits of research just to enrich.
Whilst it's quite a complicated response, I think that what we are going to have to say is that given the highly sensitive location of the building, the significance of the building in the context of the town centre, that it is not clear enough to us that there is not, and there's a lot of negatives in there, but it is not clear enough to us that there is not an adverse impact upon the building of what is proposed. Consequently, we would object. But perhaps if there were greater clarification,
No, I
submitted.
know. It's
I
not
mean,
you.
I get embarrassed about this because, I mean, I'd have liked to, you know, I mean, that's all you've got.
I didn't follow it either.
Did you have a look at it then, David?
Yeah,
On-
and the trouble is, with something like that, what you actually want is a big picture of the building, showing you exactly what it's going to
Can I
look
say, I
like.
couldn't agree more. That's
Can we not say
exactly.
that?
Exactly.
Can we say that as guidance?
Yeah.
Can I just say,
Interesting issue on
the fact is that most of that stuff is internal, actually. I'm not entirely sure exactly how this would appear, and I agree with you entirely. It's always really good to have some kind of idea as to what it would look like.
It hasn't shown the impact, has
It doesn't tell you anything.
Right.
That might be deliberate as well.
It's very cluttered as it is anyway, but I can't see
We can't
how.
work it out.
I
think
can't
it's-
work it out.
I get the feeling that the consensus is that we object on the basis I've just outlined, and if the applicant wants to come back and clarify it by producing the sort of mock-up that we've asked for,
The
then
thing
maybe
that we
we would.
Sorry, the thing we're really interested in, is the street scene. We're not so bothered about sticking, you know, vinyl stickers inside. I don't think that really would worry us. We're more worried about the visual impact on the street scene.
Absolutely.
There's something called a community board and there's no indication whether
Yeah, I
that's
saw that.
outside or
I thought you got
inside.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's confusing, isn't
It doesn't tell you.
Then we can't have them pinning it to the outside of the building, because it's a listed building.
So, I think, are you clear enough as to our response? You can always run it by me.
Thank you very much.
Fine. Right, so we object
Right.
to that one. And
No, we can't say anything about this, but I will show
simply
it.
record no comment because it's our own application relating to our
But it is interesting though, that's where it is, and I'm just showing you, that's where my wife and I live. So we know this quite well. Okay, that's the tree, and this is what the crown reduction is.
Trim it down.
However, we're not going to pass comment.
I know we're not going to pass comment, but I just thought I'd like to
Well,
Absolutely.
let people know.
you're educating us another.
I'm trying to.
We're clear as to what's been asked for, and now we'll move on to something that is usually as clear as mud.
No.
Despite the
Can I
comments
just
that were
say,
made to me at the town
I-
meeting when I'm
now going to have a headache.
But back to the sports and Road and matters to do with conditions and
Can I
variations.
just say that I'm not going to go through all of this again. I've been through this bloody application about goodness knows how many times. But basically, the Environmental Protection Agency says there's a condition that says it's all to do with the timing and use of it. Okay, Sport England supports it, whatever else, but it's basically this phasing plan for the, you know, I'm not going to, there's a ton of stuff on this. Right, go to the next one. But these are residents' comments. What they're concerned about is the fact that they don't want light pollution. You can read it, I hope you can see it. That's pretty well it. I don't know whether we want to make an observation to support their comments or whether we just have no comment to make. In a way, I feel this is sort of a no comment.
Let's keep the opening longer, because that means
Well, the point is,
it's more inclusive.
yeah, absolutely. You know, this is.
Nothing, got nothing to do with planning though.
Well, it's got nothing to do with that.
Well, I think it's got a little bit to do with that.
Because you could have a
Well,
planning
it
condition
cars
that
and things.
limited its opening hours,
Mm.
potentially.
I think it's
I just think this is a little balancing act here. I mean, obviously, we want it to be available, but we don't necessarily want the local residents
up and on.
to be upset with lighting and noise. I don't know what to say. All I can do is present what I've got.
There have been complaints, haven't there, before about
Yep.
noise
from Wyatt Way.
Wyatt Way
And we have ourselves
and
expressed
lighting,
concern
We
about
have,
floodlights.
lighting and noise issues themselves.
Yep.
It wouldn't be inconsistent to
We will-
say that, if necessary, conditions need to exist to ensure that there is the minimum disruption caused by either light pollution or noise. And maybe we could make some semi-bland comment to that effect and not go into any greater detail.
if you recall, we actually reversed the cricket
Yes.
practice things because
It's the
of
net
concerns. The nets ended up
Going
the other
away
end,
from the house,
exactly,
like-
instead of down. Yeah. So we've got to take that into account. But I mean, it's a question of how strongly we want to put these matters, I think.
I'd be inclined, as I say, to just make reference to the fact that we would ask that conditions are imposed or maintained to ensure the minimum disruption from, and just leave it at that.
Noise or not.
Unless anybody has any other points or a contrary view.
I think that's fine.
Okay.
It's really good.
Condition, I'm just going to write to
Yes.
condition with noise and light.
Right, I can't comment on this because I've declared an interest.
So this is 13 New Road. What you can do, of course, is present it to us as a proposed
But I can also
two-storey
talk about it as
side
well.
and single-storey rear extension and more demolition. This time of the existing single-storey
Right.
side extension.
Okay, that's where it is.
Oh, right, yeah, no.
You're not a million miles away from it, Councillor.
Absolutely not.
But that's Sue Bearden. Her husband, Keith, died recently, and they used to live in Perio Farm. And she's moved out there, and her son has moved into the farm. So we know them quite well. There we go, that's the site, and you can see from the hatched area what she's proposing to do. You can see the depth of the site from the left-hand slide. So you can see it's a substantially, deep building. It's highly unlikely, I think, that this is going to cause any problems to the neighbours, but again, with my usual caveat, my usual caveat, these are the floor plans, so, no, I'll go on to the next. I mean, there's not much I can say, really. You get the general idea. It's going to be a wraparound.
Just make New Road darker.
I don't know why Sue Bearden wants to put any more rooms there. There's only her living there. Anyway,
She had a big farmhouse, remember?
she had a whopping great farmhouse.
There doesn't appear to be an issue that with overdevelopment, it doesn't impact on parking. If it did, I'd be really worried, bearing in mind where it is.
There's no problem parking
Yeah,
wise.
absolutely not. So, again, it would only be an overlooking issue if there was an issue at all. And to some extent, I suspect that planners themselves will look up that. I'm not aware of an objection anyway, so.
No problems.
Well, it's a single-storey rear, look, you see, and it's a two-storey side, so they're just really extending the building a bit. It'll be the neighbour on the left-hand side, as we look at it, who possibly might think there's a bit of a problem, but again, I'm stuck really because I haven't seen any objections.
Well, I don't think we're going to be adding to them from the Senate. No objection?
No.
No objection.
Uh,
Let us move
Swiftly on.
to
Whoops.
15 Mill Road.
Right.
No.
Oh, crikey.
This one
No.
you may recall.
Can I
has been
just say,
before.
I am not going through this one either. Oh, crikey. Basically, they're just swiveling around a few little parking places. This is the old Anchor Brewery, which is down at the bottom end of, just before you go over North Bridge. South Bridge, sorry. So, I mean, I'm not putting any pictures up. I mean, look, you know, we've been through this again. I'm terribly sorry for people who haven't actually necessarily seen these things before, but I don't want to bore you witlessly with all this stuff. Basically, I want to amend the car parking layout. Now, when I went into this, it's about, oh, is it goodness knows how many flipping documents attached to this thing. But,
In terms of amending it, does that either increase or decrease the number of spaces, or does it simply reallocate them within the existing?
it reallocates them and provides, I think, about 2 extra, from what I could gather. But it's like, you know, going through candy floss on this.
Some councillors will recall that in fact the applicant did ask to meet with me, as I recall, some considerable while ago, to discuss the application and to look at our concerns about the way it was developed. And I think parking was one of the areas that we did raise with the applicant. And my recollection is that by the time the applicant had finished, we didn't actually have any objection to what came forward in the end.
We didn't.
And the fact that this seems to be creating additional parking space rather than losing it would suggest to me that it's unlikely we would object.
There was quite a lot of stuff about cutting trees down, wasn't there?
There were
Oh, yeah,
issues around
It was done to actually provide car parking space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do any additional trees of value disappear as a result of
I've no idea. There's so many documents on this, it's ridiculous.
It's the place that you...
And I say that the part of the building that they've actually done up is done to an incredibly high standard.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the important thing is that it's enhanced that particular part of the town.
Absolutely quality.
I mean,
stuff they've done.
the place was pretty derelict actually at one point.
Was derelict, yeah. Well, it wasn't
quite
quite
difficult
lived in
walking
by.
around parts of it because you were having to watch your foot.
I do,
You might just disappear.
I do apologise for not giving you full details on this, but honestly,
the
it's
thing that we should be aware of, as always, is the car parking and the trees. So if they're cutting trees down, we need to consider.
I think all that's been done. I don't believe they're doing any additional chopping. But I mean, honestly, it would take me about 2 hours to go through this to really find out.
It's just that we always put that in there, and I think it's something we should be. There should be continuity of our thinking in the planning.
Okay. Yep.
That trees and parking are always considered and are major aspects.
I think that must be right. Having said that, bearing in mind that the applicant altered his original plans to meet our originally expressed concerns, the fact that he's altering them again, but arguably altering them for the better because he's managed to create some additional car parking, really doesn't suggest to me that we would have any objection.
Without seeing what he's planning, though, it reads like he's not creating any additional space.
That's what I asked.
No, it's just it's an amended car parking layout.
And coupled with what's up there, he's increased the occupational density of the place by converting the cottage into another residency.
Yeah.
So he's jiggled, if you like, the existing car parking space to look like there's going to be enough spaces for cars. So as long as we're convinced that there is enough space, you can get out of the cars once you park them in these places. But because he's put that other dwelling on there, he has to have created extra parking spaces, which he hasn't. All he's done is repainted the lines, hasn't he? So have somebody looked at it to ensure there are enough spaces for what he's saying?
They've not added any buildings effectively.
Well, this conversion of the disused building.
Yeah, I know. In other words, it's a conversion. It's not a rebuild.
No, that's the whole thing. He hasn't increased the density there.
As far as I'm aware,
He's put in 6 dwellings where there was no dwellings before, because it was a brewery, stables, cart shed, cow shed, etc. So he's put in 6 dwellings in there, which...
Yes, clearly
and then the one in the middle, is the one in the middle an additional one then? or was that in the original application?
Yes, it's already there, the existing cemetery. But the thing about those cottages on the road, on South Road, which adjoin the brewery, that they've finished now, they were just outbuildings
Yes.
with access to the road from
Yeah,
South
yep,
Road.
yep.
They are now cottages.
Yep.
And each one of those cottages now will potentially have 2 cars, 3 cars.
Yeah.
So South Road's parking is already congested down that end on Mill Road.
It's going to get worse.
Well, but that's why I say
Exactly.
we constantly
Do-
have to be
do-
mindful.
The adequacy of the parking on site is important.
If you're really concerned about this, look, I'll go back and I'll email out something to sort of try and show this. I was trying to keep it really simple, to be perfectly frank.
I trust Val's, Val, you've been there, Val, you've seen everything and they've done it.
Well, I'm not sure that you can't get to those cottages from round near the bridge anyway, in the main entrance as you go in on the left before you cross the South Bridge.
I'm quite happy to go, take
Right,
photographs.
it's a big area.
It is a big one, it's very,
It's a
very
big
substantial.
area.
it's only the.
But you're right, if you bring a number of buildings into residential use, you need to have the car parking facility. I think we were satisfied in the end that the car parking that was available for what was going to happen was ultimately adequate. It wasn't to start with. I hope I've not got it wrong. I don't think that there is a reason to fear that what is now proposed takes us backwards in terms of reintroducing a pressure because there isn't adequate car parking on site. But it would be helpful if Councillor Oakes could perhaps take a look at it. How long have we got, Lisa, to respond to this? Do you know?
I'm very happy to look at this in detail. It will take quite some time. There's an awful lot of, it's an awful lot of planning applications.
That's right. There was the outbuildings before this
7th of May.
Oh.
First today, isn't it? So.
I'll have a look.
Can we just
No, we'll
Can I
just
say,
remember
I'll have a
we're
look
away.
and I'll try and see if the difficulty you've got is that you've got a whole load of documents which cover a whole load of planning applications that have gone through. And that's the problem. There's not just one planning application, there are a number of them.
If Councillor Oakes is able to clarify for all of us whether there might be ground for concern that what is proposed adversely impacts on the adequacy of the car parking, he will let us know, and against that background we will object. But if we suspect that it is neutral or even improves the situation, well, clearly we would not object. I think that's perhaps as far as we can go with this.
Get yourself round that one.
I'll go and take some photographs as well.
We'll do it tomorrow,
Right.
because I'm his able assistant.
Looks like you're going to be busy.
And then we're away for the twins' baptism. So we
Thank you to my deputy and his able assistant. Make some satellites, some sort of magic. Right, move on swiftly.
Yeah, 5 St Peter's
5
Road.
St Peter's Road.
You'll know this better than I will, David.
I dare say.
Right, it's in the corner. Can you see it just outlined in red?
Yes.
You can just see it. It's on the bend. On the bend. Now, substantial property, a decent site. There it is. You can see it. Right. Now, floor plans. That's what it is at the moment, and that's what they want to do with it. That's ground floor. Fundamentally, there's not an awful lot of difference.
it's just that bit at the side.
It's just a bit at the side. All they've done is really just fiddled the back with the, instead of having a double garage. Now, we don't have to worry about parking. There's plenty of parking at the front. They just basically turned one of the garages into the bedroom floor. And then they put a little bit of an extension on the back. Is that everybody comfortable with that?
Can you show us where it was again?
Yes.
It's right on the corner, tucked away.
On the top, you know, you can
If I can assist a little bit. But the site is plenty big enough to accommodate what is proposed. proposed, and what is proposed would not impact on any other property. If there is an issue at all, it is that I believe that that property, in common with one or two others, on that side of the road, of St Peter's Road, has had some subsidence issues. This is in part caused by some of the unusual groundwater flows that we see in the field beyond I-23. And I believe that the main property may have been piled a few years ago, if I'm remembering this correctly.
It's behind the burnt building.
So I am sure that those who have drawn up the plans for this will be conscious of it. I suspect that the planning department will be conscious of this. Clearly, the adequacy of what is built is a technical issue that is beyond us. But in terms of what is proposed, I wouldn't have thought we would want to object.
Well, that's really down to the building inspector, isn't
Absolutely.
But that's not our job, is it?
It's not our
it?
job.
No, exactly. We're looking at the aesthetics of it. And
So that they've got groundwater problems that high up, because that's near top end of the street.
Right at the
It's
top
right
of
at the
the
top
line.
end.
It's
Right at the
at the top of the hill,
on the
but
corner.
those problems
Yeah.
have basically surfaced literally from the top all the way down. But not, it hasn't affected every property. Touch wood, it never affected the property that I used to live in for many years at number 17. But it has affected properties on that side of the road in the past. So it's just something to be aware of.
I thought it was just ones near the bottom half, but obviously not. It's all the way
The
down.
top to the top.
Well,
Ross Road there.
there are all sorts of water springs all over here. I mean, Blacktop Lane is famous for it, really, because that's where the Spitz Brewery used to be. And the reason they've got the brewery there is because they had nice fresh water flowing down the road.
There's actually a spring line that runs all the way along Bellamy Road and crosses, virtually crosses through those gardens into that field.
I'm sure you're right.
Yeah.
Right, but
Do
I
I
mean,
take it that that's an objection?
No, Drew.
I mean, look, it's difficult. I mean, they're going to go backwards. They're not going to go sideways. You'll hardly see any difference at the front, which is usually what would concern us.
Okay, let's move on to
Right.
61 Gordon Road.
Right, there you go.
Two
Sorry, this is
story
the...
rear and single story front extension.
By the
You
way,
may recall that I was mentioning at the town meeting how often these days what we are faced with is fairly comprehensive applications about extensions of property, because people are preferring to stay where they are and extend it rather than incur the expense of a move.
too
It
right.
seems to me.
It's a national trend.
A national trend.
It is.
Anyway, I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. I mean, obviously it's largely economic, I think, really.
It's cheaper.
And it's cheaper, yeah, absolutely. But look, there it is. It's, I don't know if you know Gordon Road.
Oh, yes.
That's the corner, and that's where it is. Okay, around the corner,
Yeah, walk down to the
site plan's there, and all they want to do is stick a porch on the front and an extension on the back. All right.
You've got
Yeah.
No objection. No objection.
Job done.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, I'm going to say that's it.
You're not going to see it.
Okay.
Are you happy with that?
It is, just remember though, it is a two-storey rear extension.
Yeah.
So somebody might moan about it, because it's all quite condensed up there. But I haven't, again, usual caveat, nobody's complained so far.
The question, I suppose, because this one perhaps more obviously than any of the other ones we've looked at tonight, just may, I think, potentially have overlooking issues. Whether in saying it's no objection subject to it being clarified that
I don't,
There's no overlooking issues.
no, hang on a minute, I don't think there are, Dave,
there's no
actually.
windows left and right.
No, there's a window on the ground floor, no,
Yeah.
and you've got the one on the right is the one that comes back, and that looks into the garden.
Well, those two look in the garden. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they already exist on the existing building anyway.
I wouldn't
And they're
be-
just being
I-
pulled back outwards.
I'm quite sure you're right.
I don't
in
think
which
so.
case it may be that I have
No, there's no.
misinterpreted it.
But the thing is, though, look, I will say this: it's up to them to complain about overlooking. It's not for us to complain about it, in my opinion. we look at that in absolutely technical planning grounds and see whether or not it, you know, it's in accordance with the vernacular of whatever. And I find it very difficult to complain about this. I really do. I'm just looking at it. Look, it's
Okay.
look at where it's cited.
Yet again, I get the sense that this is a no objection to.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We've already done the next one.
Yeah, that's good.
Very good, so that takes us to the last, 24B East Road.
Right.
Proposed construction of 2 dwellings with attached garages, plural, and associated access and landscape.
Okay, I'm rather familiar with
Possibly
this.
a real controversial comment.
Well, can I just say, this is one we looked at. Originally, they put in an application for 3 dwellings. And now it's gone down to 2. Now, the interesting thing about it is the access. Because the access is actually from the new road site. And it's not from the route which would be off
Lane.
the route coming round to the house there. So this in itself has actually caused some problems though for some residents. Right, now you could actually argue about this. These are some residents' concerns that have been put on the website. Now this is where I have been able to drag some things in, and I've summarised it. Because they're going to go through the new Herne Road estate, which has obviously been nicely curbed and everything, they're concerned about heavy vehicles coming in to do the construction. So most of them are based on construction issues, not on the actual building itself, but with putting it up. And they mentioned, as I say, possible damage, children's safety, and it just basic inconvenience. Well, I don't know what to say we can say about that. There might be an issue about overlooking, and there might be an issue about light pollution because these houses are going to be built with LEDs. So that's what the residents are saying. And that is just a summary, really, of what's been said.
Can you remind us of the view that we took when it was 3?
We said no objection.
Bearing in mind that we said that we didn't object to 3, and the number has gone down, not up. It does seem slightly difficult to object in principle to the idea of development. If the access, forget for the moment the construction issue, but if the access of itself doesn't cause us undue concern, and actually it seems to me that possibly access not off East Road is probably preferable to access on and off East Road, given the nature of that road and the traffic issues on
And the
it.
parking.
Then possibly the only issue would be to relate to whether it may be appropriate to apply any conditions simply around construction movement, in other words, the times at which construction vehicles move. But for a development of 2,
There's not lots of construction.
it seems to me that that's possibly slightly over putting. If they were building 20 houses somewhere, you might do.
Blackthorn construction goes through that. There's not any lorries down there, are there?
We had 145 built at the top of our road.
A few lorries there.
Just the other one.
And
Councillor Rose.
the only thing with us, they do sometimes have a habit, and they're not supposed to work on a Sunday, you know, till 11 o'clock. But that's a different issue, really. But that's where probably the residents would latch onto things like
It's
that.
a nuisance in itself.
We might put in an observation that we would expect, what shall we call it, that there's a development plan is adhered to,
Yeah.
is agreed and adhered to, because I mean the objections appear to be mainly around the construction of it, not the actual building itself.
Yeah.
So something along the lines of, in view of the concerns expressed with regard to the construction phase, we would invite the local authorities to consider agreeing a development plan with the developer to minimise inconvenience to local residents.
Yep. and that should include things like, you know, don't come on site before 8 o'clock
Yeah,
and all this sort of
which would
business.
include times.
So just a question of observation on this. They would come to there from Old School Avenue, would they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, Old School Avenue, from what I understand, is a non-adopted road, isn't it? It's a private road.
It is a private
It is
road.
currently.
So do the owners of the road have to give permission to construction vehicles to use the road? Because when I look at that road, you know, it is block paved road.
It is.
They're putting heavy trucks down it.
Yep.
The road might go through subsidence, so the owners of the road might object to it.
But I think.
But that's for the owners of the road to object to, isn't it?
But I think there was an arrangement though.
But anyway, it's just an observation.
No,
Good
no,
observation.
no, can I just say, it's a very valid
That's
observation.
good. I think that's good.
I think that there's been a ransom strip stuck in there, and I think that there'd been an arrangement with the people who developed the Herne Road one, with this particular individual, to allow them to do that, which is why there isn't a house stuck there and there's a drive in there.
Right.
So there's possibly something under the table that I don't know about. But that's, I
just know all
I have no idea. But all I can tell you is that's what factually the application is.
Yeah. And that's we need to
We've
be
made an
interested.
observation around the possibility of adoption of a development plan to meet concerns and perhaps set times outside of which construction traffic should not happen. Any other observations on this application? Would you say no objection?
No objection.
I don't get any demur, so no objection subject to development plan, you can call it that. Which means that we have gone through 13 applications.
Look at that.
Thank you.
Very well done. As always.
Well done again. How
So,
many at home?
let us just briefly cast our eye over the next item, which is planning outcomes. And councillors will be aware that the application in respect of Abbott House, or should I say applications plural, were both refused. Those of us who were present at the town meeting may recall that Councillor Stern, I think, made some observations in the course of the evening about the wholly unsuitable nature of the buildings that were proposed for the location in which they were to be proposed. I can't remember the exact expression.
A tower or something.
It wasn't
Said
particularly
it's not.
complimentary about them. What was perhaps also interesting to note is the application in respect of number 1, St House Lane, where we objected, and on that occasion as well,
They agree.
I agree with
the local authorities agreed with us.
It's almost unreal.
So it is actually relatively rare that we can report that of the planning outcomes, we have raised a number of objections, and on each occasion they've been sustained by the
Makes a
It
change.
just actually does make me feel that sitting here at 9:15 at night and not being entire waste of time. That brings us on to planning appeals, of which, as far as I'm aware, there aren't any for us to discuss. Which then brings us on to these two matters of planning guidance. Councillors will recall that for some considerable time we've had available to us our own kind of homemade planning guidance document, which periodically we add to and review. And in recent times we've thought about adding a couple of things which are dealt with tonight. The overall document we were going to review in the light of the design statement to accompany the neighbourhood plan when that was finalised. Well, I'm not sure I ever believed I would see the day, but of course that design statement is now up there as part of the whole Reg 14 process, and so we will, in due course, need to look at that. And I can see a degree of logic, because I think Councillor Hutton spent a bit of time looking at that document, that it might be rather helpful for this committee to invite Councillor Hutton to perhaps look at the planning guidance document, to look at that document, and to maybe assist us with making sure that the two are compatible, and where necessary our planning guidance document may itself be supplemented. So if councillors agree, I may try and have a word with Councillor Hutton before we convene again.
Excellent.
Which leads us on to these two. Now I put something together for both. One is on the perennial subject of retrospective applications. Of course, inevitably we didn't have one tonight.
Yes, we
The reason that we did it was it almost felt that every time we got a retrospective application, we were sort of making similar kinds of noises, and it might almost help if we had a standard form of words that we would use in addition to any other comments, positive or negative, that we might make. So there is a sort of policy that I've drawn up here, which I hope councillors have had a chance to look at, and I'm sort of open to suggestions, and if you feel that I've got it completely wrong, feel free to say so.
I think it's fine.
So,
No, I think it's fine.
I put a mutter that I think it's fine from my left. Is everybody happy enough that we incorporate that into the document now further?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Fine.
Yeah.
The second one is
Yeah, that's fine.
on this scenario about reconsidering planning applications. You may recall that this year we've had a slightly unusual scenario in which we were invited by an applicant whose application we had objected to review that decision. We then had a debate about whether we should or shouldn't review. We ultimately came to the decision that we would look at it again, and then decided that despite the fact we had looked at it again, we wouldn't actually change our minds. But some of us, me in particular, I think, expressed some concern about the whole idea of reviewing applications for fear of the kind of precedent that it might set for us having to entertain a sort of application from somebody to whose application we'd objected coming in to say, no, you've got to look at it again for X, Y and Z reasons, and then having to go through the entire process, which might slow our work up considerably. So I've put together a policy which says, in essence, we don't do it unless. And if you're happy with that,
That would be pretty much in line with any appeal situation,
yeah,
in any sphere of...
exactly. I mean,
I'm happy with it.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, you have
Well done, David.
the important factor in that.
In that case, we adopt both of those into our existing guidance document. Sort of switch it on. We've already done the bit that we were going to do in camera, which actually takes us to any other relevant matters for report. I will have one in a minute, but I'll go around the table first.
It's not really planning so much as people in New Road are complaining to me about the vehicles that are visiting the Amble School building site.
yes,
And that speeding, and more importantly and worryingly, the use of the pavement as if it's actually
Part of the road. Well, I suppose really that is simply something that we as a council might wish to draw to the attention of both the police and highways. I mean, it's really not something we can control, but I think if we are getting representations, it's important we make sure those representations are passed on. So perhaps that could be minuted.
I would agree with that.
And perhaps this committee can then ask our clerk to act accordingly.
I did manage to persuade Sarah Barnwell to intervene on our behalf and speak to the people at the school
Excellent. Thank you very much.
in the hope that that might have a
Yes.
result.
It might indeed. Councillor Fuller? Councillor Humphrey? Councillor Spark? Sorry.
Thank you.
Right, I did say there would be one other thing. You may recall that at the last meeting, on our agenda was a letter from Parishioner Helen Cartwright, who lives in Batman Road, who was concerned about a property on the other side of the road, and issues around the planning conditions. Now, those of us with a bit of a memory of these things will recall the application and will recall the furore, I think is not too strong a word, that accompanied the fact that when the site was developed, a very nice UH disappeared practically overnight. And it shouldn't have done. And as part of the whole thing, the applicant had to do a certain amount of reinstatement. I visited the site with Mr. Cartwright on Sunday, and he showed me what it was that he was concerned about. Now, if you can envisage that we have the new building, very, very large building on Blackthorn Road. We have a passageway that leads up here, that kind of runs behind Fletton Library of there, a bit of garden area, and there's a big hedge that, in fact, is part of the County Council owned property on one side, and we have the new property on the other. And with this new property, there is a panel fence. There is a, that's the best way of putting this, there is an area about so wide,
It's about 8
which
inches.
is planted with
Large twigs.
dead nuts. Well, it is planted. And it is fair to say that areas of it are thriving, and areas of it are as dead as a dodo.
Seen it.
And Mr. Cartwright felt that because the applicant had been told that this needed to be reinstated, that he should jolly well replace all the dead bits. As Mr. Cartwright was showing me this, Mr. Boyle, whose home it is, came out to speak to Mr. Cartwright. What followed was interesting, and there was a verbal exchange in which Mr. Boyle was not very complimentary with regard to Mr. Cartwright, but said, and this is important, that he was conscious of the fact that areas of this had died. He was willing to replace it, but he wasn't willing to replace it when on the other side of the passageway, the hedge he maintains has grown out of control because it is no longer trimmed back in the way it used to be, and it's very, very much higher. And it is his argument that that stops sunlight getting to the trees, and therefore that is what is killing them off. Now, I am no horticulturalist, and I do not know. So he had said that he basically said to EMC, well, look, you know, there's the problem. He himself claims to have approached him, and I have no reason to doubt what he says in that regard. And has basically said, well, I'm not going to waste money replanting them if exactly the same thing's going to happen again. Now, what did strike me as a bit surprising is that you would think that if the big hedge on what I'm going to call the right-hand side, because if we're looking at it down here, you've got the property on the left-hand side, you've got the big hedge on the right-hand side. If that big hedge was impacting that side, you would imagine it would die all the way along consistently, but it hasn't. There are areas that are dead, there's a very, very profuse area, there's another area that's dead, and so on. I'm right at this end, the road end of it, it's actually thriving quite nicely. So whether it's as simple as that, I do not know. So Mr. Cartwright wanted the council to press ENC to do something about enforcing the planning condition. Mr Boyle's position is in essence, I have done what I can, but it's due to what the county council have done, that's more particularly not done, that the problem exists. Now one thing is for sure actually, when you look at the hedge on the right hand side, it is jolly high, it hasn't been trimmed back for a while, and it probably should be. And it would be relatively easy for us as a council to go to the county council and say you really ought to do something about it and reduce the height of that and keep it under control. I think it would be perfectly reasonable to do that, because whatever the impact of it is or isn't on the other side, it would improve the amenity anyway, it seems to me, of that, and arguably put a little bit more light into that passageway as well, because with such a high edge, it's quite a gloomy passage, so to speak. Whether, in fact, what is there will ever work is another matter. As I say, it's a very narrow strip, and it's not very deep. So in terms of what the plants have to survive on, I just wonder whether it can ever be adequate. But against that, in parts it is doing well. Mr Cartwright feels that ENC are basically not doing enough, and he is sceptical about the idea that it is down to the hedge that is NCC's, and he feels that if there is a planning condition, ENC should very well be enforcing it, and he thinks that we should be encouraging ENC to enforce it. I have some sympathy with the view that where there are planning conditions and they appear not to be being complied with, and I'll choose my word there, that in principle we would normally want ENC to do something about it. So the question I suppose that arises is, do we contact ENC and say that this is an issue that's been raised with us? We've heard in effect both sides of the story. I wasn't anticipating hearing Mr Boyle's side there and then, but I heard it, which just turned out to be quite useful. And see what ENC have to say to us, whilst at the same time we approach NCC and say, will you please do something about this hedge? My guess is that they may not. I think that that part of the hedge which further on goes beyond this area that I'm talking about, I believe our own open space maintenance team have maintained that bit.
They do.
But it's not for them to maintain this bit, because it's not actually, it's not ours to maintain. I dare say that county council, the county council will probably be more than happy for us to do it for them, but of course once we start doing it, you'd be darn sure that you do it in perpetuity. So the question is, do we get involved at all? If we do, how do we do it? It seems to me if we do it, we've got to be even-handed, we've got to approach these the county council and get them, if possible, to do something with the hedge, and then we raise these issues with the NC and see where it takes us.
Mr Cartwright has obviously given me the benefit of his views about how the hedge has died off in places.
Yeah.
My understanding is, having put hedge in myself, that you are actually supposed to water it very adequately. So that is it is possible that it wasn't adequately watered. The other thing we need to check now is how much hedge we have to do, because some land has been handed over to the preschool, sort of in the garden bit further down, and it might be that we should be doing more of the hedge.
That hedge is, some or all of it is our
We
responsibility.
need to check whether it's all ours, because we bought Fletton House for a sum of £1. I believe we also paid £1 if it went through, if it happened. We were offered that entire pathway for £1, and that would, I think, include the hedges either side of it. And I think that's why our people maintain it.
Right,
So
so
it might be the whole thing is ours.
we better check,
Yeah.
first
Whether
of
it's
all,
part of
that
our
it is
estate.
our responsibility in the first place.
Yeah.
If it is, then the remedy may in
Lisa.
part be in our own hands.
It's all for you.
So, There we go. The office will try and check out the ownership of the hedge. If it is an NCC hedge, we'll take it up with NCC. If it's ours, we'll just get on with it.
Yes.
Either way, we should probably contact ENC, it seems to me, and say this issue has come to our attention. It's quite clear that this hedge is in part dying.
Yeah.
They ought to insist on it being replaced, but the owner says the problem is. And
Where you take the cost, you're helping that.
clearly, you would have thought that if ENC imposed the condition, they must have thought it was capable of being complied with. So the question is what Mr Boyle has done adequate to meet their own condition? And I'm not capable of answering that question.
If it helps, we've got some pictures of that hedge, because it was to do with the planning application, and I went and took pictures of it, various angles.
We'll be just hedging our bets, really, aren't we?
Well, it's just
No, but quite seriously, I think from a horticultural point of view, the whole idea that it's affected, you know, the sunlight thing strikes me as being slightly
and the water.
erroneous, because look where the sun comes up and where the sun sets. And that hedge was perfectly
I think it's the
healthy.
water.
That hedge was perfectly healthy at the time. But then all of a sudden it disappeared and fencing arrived. And unfortunately, along the trees, once you do that, it's blooming difficult, you know, to get it back again. But I would guess that the best bet would be inadequate watering.
I think so.
I would guess that would be my best bet. I'm no great
Hopefully
horticulturist.
ENC have got somebody who is capable of going out there and forming a view as to whether it is inadequate maintenance by Mr Boyle or whether there is a cause that is outside his control.
Well,
that they can gauge, and if they feel it is his fault, then there's a planning condition that they should enforce it as against him, and if they think it isn't his fault, well, presumably they won't.
There is an issue though about the hedge on the right hand side as you're coming, you know, in towards Clinton. It does need, you know, some tidying up.
Well, we'll establish whether it's ours, and if it is ours, we'll tidy it up, and if it isn't ours, we'll ask NCC to tidy it up. Well, that was what I wanted to raise. Sorry to prolong the meeting somewhat.
Thank you.
Being no other business, I'm closing the meeting about 9:37.
Thank you, everyone.